Ahem. Ahem, ahem. Da-dum, da-dum, dum. Do 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 da-dum, dum. Anybody here with me yet? Just looking at some cards. Sometimes it takes a little while for you guys to sort of tumble in here, so let me know when somebody joins me over in the chat. This is pretty cool art. I think Wizards has been finding some new artists lately. There's been some impressive stuff. I feel like Seb McKinnon's unique style has suddenly like opened the door for a lot of other really creative artists to get more commissions, to get more work from Wizards, because, you know, for a while Magic art had gotten pretty boring. You had like one Seb piece in a set. Like I think he had like Rite of something or other, Rite of Snakes or something in like Khans of Tarkir or something like that. And it was just like, you know, beautiful, like all of Seb's work. And I don't know, now you're getting like, what was that piece I just saw here? Look at that. Pretty awesome. Let's see if I can get that a little bigger. Nah, I guess we can't. So what's going on here even? It's like some kind of crazy laser going through like a big old red dragon. But it's not like normal dragon style, right? It's almost like it's drawn with a pencil or something. Very cool effect. Got the like super high contrast white line going through. Very limited color palette. Simple sort of geometric shapes with the hedrons. So who is this guy? Can't even read. It's so tiny. Is that Wiley? Is that the name? What? I don't know. You guys have to Wiley Beckert, something like that. Beautiful though. Always happy to see new art styles getting sort of more airtime, so to speak. I mean, even Confounding Conundrum is pretty sweet looking. Like, what's going on here? It's almost like just big brush strokes. Beautiful. Let's see if there's any other cool art. I want to talk about a couple of the spoilers, but until there's a couple of you guys in here, you know, I'm just gonna sort of try to enjoy some of the art. So what's going on with this one? And I wish these pictures were a little bigger. Looks like a merfolk with kind of swirling stuff going around. I love the negative space over here, right? Like it's just a whole lot of nothing. It's like 50-50. Like I guess it's sort of like the thirds sort of rule, rule of thirds for compositions, like pretty much on the 33% line. Pretty artistic. Not your typical, like let's find some more typical fantasy art. I mean, this guy's pretty cheesy, right? That's pretty typical. This is just silly. I mean, it's fun because it's different, but it's pretty silly. Pretty typical Magic stuff, just like a bunch of people walking along. The whatever this is, the elk has flowers on its horns. I guess that's interesting. You know, I don't know. All the stuff is pretty typical. Flying thing. Typical. All pretty boring. Is this like a cat with knives in its hand? Can't even see what's happening. This is fun. Look at this ridiculous thing. Have to say I like that. This is pretty neat, pretty abstract. I enjoy it. The composition here is beautiful. What's going on here? The takedown deals damage equal to a number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. So I'm not exactly sure who's getting taken down here. Is it the elk that's getting taken down? Or is this guy using the elk to take this guy down? It's hard to say. But like the light is in a weird position here because it's shining on this rock face, which makes you think it's over here, but it's not shining on this side of this jackalope or whatever it is, and on this guy's back. So maybe these guys are like standing in the mouth of a cave. Who knows? But composition is very interesting. Questionable lighting though. What else is going on in the set? This is fun. Like, it looks like it's just like a pile of garbage, but it's actually some kind of magical creature. I guess this is its little arm holding a butterfly. Kind of cool. Check something out over here. So, I mean, I was talking about new art styles. Wizards kind of trying to broaden their horizons a little bit. So much of it is like this whole row here is just extremely typical kind of fantasy stuff. No, it's not bad. There's nothing bad about it. This is kind of interesting. It has like a very undefined kind of nature, a lot of fog, and I'm not even sure what's happening. Something vicious. Some guy's getting his head wrapped up by some nasty snake arm. So I'm trying to find some sweet, unusual art. This is another one, and this is actually by the same guy. This is super interesting. Let me open this, and I'll go back to that other one that I opened a minute ago. Curious to hear your guys' opinions about this art that I'm digging. Is this guy new for this set, or has he done magic art before? I'm gonna look closer. The name is Wiley Beckert. Wiley Beckert. He's got sort of like a line work style where you can actually see outlines, and he's using like a very limited color palette. Like this Soul Shatter card I was discussing a second ago, it's just grays, oranges, and maybe like a tan that could even be like an extremely washed out version of this orange. And then over here you've got just sort of a pinkish red and grays, right? That's all this. And then there's hands reaching down with ribbons. I guess these are just rocks with faces. I can't really tell what's going on with that. But the hands are beautiful, and it's just very unique. It's closer to Seb McKinnon's art style than to traditional Magic, but it's definitely unique even from Seb's style, I think. So anyhow, beautiful art, and it looks like that guy Wiley Beckert has gotten at least 2 commissions for this set, so good for him. What else do we have? Basic. I do like the art for this stupid 1-drop, like the fact it's just like it mills the opponent. We don't care about that. It's like every new Merfolk card they print is like a new way to insult us. But the art is really cool. Like this guy, like what's he doing? He's just like taking some kind of leap, and that gives him flying, I guess. He doesn't really have wings. He's got like this kind of flying squirrel type stuff, flying fish, jump out of the water and glide a little bit, I guess. I don't know that he should have flying though. And there's some kind of vegetation behind him, like a tree, and the canopy is super like almost cartoonish in its simplicity. And once again, like some of the other cards I was looking at, it's got this real hazy background. So not a ton of definition, just sort of a lot of contrast, dark shadows. Very cool artwork. Who is this person? Colin Boyer. All right, resolution is too low. Let's keep on looking. And if you guys are with me here, let me know any art that from the new set that you're digging on. And once I get a few of you guys in here with me, I'm going to jump into a modern Merfolk League this evening. It is Wednesday night. I missed Merfolk last week. I was a little busy, and I'm back this week on Wednesday. This is nice. Nothing super unconventional though. The sort of flat red being used for this, I don't know, extremely, what would the word be? I guess contrasting style to the rest of the artwork. Like it's such a flat tone of red that it really jumps out, but nothing very new. What else? Merfolk. It's kind of cartoonish, almost like kind of an anime style. Kind of neat. I like how the wave is following his staff. It's kind of well done. If only it was a good card. but it's a Merfolk, so can't be too good. What else? What else? All pretty basic art. This is kind of cool. Nice composition. But again, like the style, very basic. This is neat. This is neat, pretty abstract. Basic, basic, basic. Guy with a spear looking angry. A bear just sort of contemplating existence. This is pretty cool. Bubble snare. I like it. I like it. It's a unique style. It's not super cartoonish, but at the same time kind of is with this frogman, like his silly expression. But the proportions, like on the human, are like perfect. Like look at the scale of the forearm and the wrist and the staff. So some nice stuff going on in this art. There's some like nice definition to the water kind of magic that's happening around this this lizard guy. So kudos to this artist. I think they're doing a good job. Another Merfolk. So art is kind of whatever. Another Merfolk. Art is kind of silly. Silly. Guy swinging some ridiculous sword. What else? I mean, just the fact that this guy is on some kind of crazy ostrich dinosaur is fun, but the art is pretty blah. Basic fire and brimstone, boring stuff. This is a nice vantage point. Pretty hard to draw people from like the ground perspective, looking up at somebody descending on you. But pretty well done. The light is behind the Merfolk. I like this red hair. It just kind of jumps out. Is sort of highlighted by the backlighting. Cool staff. Nice perspective on it. Yeah. These bubbles are like foreground and background, so there's some activity going on with the perspective. Very nice. I like it. A little dark on the actual Merfolk figure, though. That tends to happen when you have backlighting. There could be some other lighting element that like picks up some of the detail going on in here, because it is a little bit too gray, I think. What else? This is pretty cool. Flipping the pages. Very nice. Well done. But as usual, something like 85-90% of the art is going to be pretty predictable magic art, like this guy here. Artist probably banged that out in an afternoon. This is kind of neat, but it's just like rocks with some green stuff around it. Not too inspiring. This is basic Zendikar stuff. You tilt the plane to sort of mess with your orientation a little bit, the little figure in the foreground. This has all been done in Zendikar art before, but definitely evokes kind of the feeling of the plane pretty well. This negate is gorgeous. I mean, the whole idea of the swirling blue magic stopping the red magic has definitely been done many times before, probably even in this set. But still, composition just like excellent. Nice definition on the figure back here, and the style of the blue with the white contrast and the red in the foreground. I don't know, just I find it pretty compelling. I like this pickaxe, as silly as it is. It's got some of that what is that rock material called that was on the last Zendikar set? It's like the one that is depicted in the wastes, the basic wastes. It's like it's shimmery, kind of like purple and pink. I'm getting kind of vibes on the blade from that, like pinks and blues. All right, let's keep moving. I'm looking for innovative, beautiful, compelling art in this set. So if you guys have cards that you've seen that you think are pretty cool, call it out and I'll just jump to it. It's not too much going on. Just that one guy, this guy, Wiley Beckert, seems to be doing some pretty cool stuff. All right, so we're down to the multicolor cards. This is all like super basic fantasy stuff. Nothing interesting. Still nothing interesting at all. Just it's all well done, but it's not interesting art. The perspective on this weird elemental boar is pretty neat. Like how close the head is and how the body tapers so dramatically, um, like some crazy long lens or something. So that's kind of cool, but you know it's all right. I also like that the boar is like apparently made up of some kind of vegetation. It reminds me of Princess Mononoke. If you guys have seen that movie, there's like one of the I guess you could say evil characters is like a big boar elemental, and he's sort of being eaten from the inside by these crazy worms. Um, Kind of looks like that art style. This is similar to that Merfolk I looked at a moment ago with the backlighting. I wonder if they actually give that as like an art direction. If they're like this, the light has to be behind the character, or if that's just something that the artist chooses. But all still pretty basic stuff. The skeleton's fun. It's just like I don't know what else you can do with like a skeleton rising up carrying a sword. I like how like the bones are so skinny. He just looks like a skinny dude, just just waking up, wants to like swing a sword at somebody, maybe lay back down for a little while. I think this is super dumb with these cartoonish eyes. Like this kind of art belongs in an unset. Like I don't know. It's a game for kids, so it's fine, but it's so cartoonish. This elemental is pretty neat. He looks like you can really kind of tell the emotion in this. Like this dude's pretty pissed off. He's just like tearing stuff up. I don't know if it's like fire or blood or whatever, just ripping away from its mouth. This guy's pretty sick. I like this art on this weird Merfolk. Like I don't know who's playing this card, but he's got the red hands, he's got the red eyes, he's flying on a crazy manta ray. This art is really cheesy. I don't know. What else? I'm not going to talk about everything. I just want to see if I can find anything that I think is pretty cool. Actually, I know that some things are coming up down here that are pretty amazing. I know some of you guys were talking about this Vortex Island. It's pretty neat. I have to say I'm not super inspired by it. It's just kind of a whirlpool, but the composition is nice. And again, they're sort of tilting the plane, very evocative of the Zendikar plane, sort of the disorientation of floating around amidst all of these hedrons and little pieces of land. Like this is a plains on Zendikar, apparently, just like a bunch of random rocks in the sky with some kind of tornado. I think if I had to choose one of the islands, I'd probably go with this sort of throwback to the original sort of waterfall island. The cup is pouring out the water, but this one has some kind of like mini hedron city inside of it or something. This is a pretty cool forest. I like that one. Also, I kind of like the mountain. All right, so what is this? Commander, kind of boring. All right, so I kind of like what they're doing with the frame here. Again, pretty quiet in the chat. Just kind of waiting for some of you guys to jump in here to really get things underway. Sort of spinning my wheels in the meantime. I like this frame. Very interesting. Very, very, very different from Magic. So it's a nice sign of like the way that they're moving with their art direction for these kinds of expeditions, to make them really special and very different and just jump out at you. I mean, the way that they have these sort of primary colors, very bold colors, cutting through the frame, it's just so contrasty. It's it's so nice. It's refreshingly different, I should say. This art is really beautiful. Sea Chrome Coast. Like I feel like it definitely evokes the name, right? Like what is a chrome sea chrome? There's some like metallic kind of reflective ideas. This crane sort of sitting on this submerged hedron just like gives it a beautiful scale. These jagged rocks being reflected. It feels like a coast. It feels chromy. There's definitely a sea involved. Again, a limited color palette, just really beautiful. Does a great job. You like the Fetchland reprints? Yeah, fair enough, but these are not going to make them any cheaper. These are like super exclusive items. This is pretty dumb for Copperline Gorge. I don't see the red at all in here. and I barely see the green. I mean, Zendikar is just covered with random rocks, so like you got to try harder to make this look like a Gruul land, right? This looks a little too blue, a little too happy to be a Gruul land. This is gorgeous. This backlit tree with tons of branches, and like the roots are in the air. Like the art is fantastic here. Excellent job by the artist here. Misty Rainforest, I don't know. It's blue, it's green. It looks okay. There's not enough drama in the art for me. It just, in this tree, the proportions are weird. I don't love it. Kind of blah. Like Arid Mesa? What is this? It's just like a piece of rock. With like, I have to say, probably too much blue over here. I'm not getting a red-white land out of this. Verdant Catacombs, sort of fine. Could be darker, right? It's a little bit too bright and airy. Marsh Flats, perfect. I love it. Looks kind of maybe like a little marshy, but it's definitely flat. And maybe a little marshy, but a nice sense of space. You've got the sky in the distance, that sense of sort of adventure, exploration. Scalding Tarn, you got your blues and your reds. That's usually, a good starting point. Got some drips coming down here. Kind of does it for me. I feel like a significant amount or a significant portion of the art is being covered by this text box that would lend a lot more definition to actually what's happening here. I can't tell if this is like a lava like waterfall. I don't know. I wish that this white overlay would just pretty much, I want it to go away. These are special cards. For the people who want these cards know what the cards do. The people who are playing in tournaments know what the cards do. Just imagine how, I don't know if I can block out any of the, the boxes with my fingers, but just imagine how nice they would look without the stupid box. If you need to like put text, like minimize it, make it like where the word battlefield is, like tiny text. Nobody cares, nobody cares. Bloodstained Mire, I hate it. It's just like a bunch of pink fuchsia nonsense, garbage, terrible. Polluted Delta, this kind of ooze immediately looks kind of like pollution, so I can dig it. You've got those floating cup islands in the background, also kind of cool. I'm not really sure. Again, the foreground is being obscured by the stupid white box. So what we might actually be looking at the delta here. I think that's actually what's happening. I was going to say, where's the delta? There's not really a delta. Like, it's a delta is like, I think where like the river lets out into the sea. But yeah, we can't see any of the nice reflections that the artist spent hours rendering, just because it's covered by a stupid white box. Continuing, Strand is fun. I think this is lovely. It reminds me a lot of the art for, what is that card called? Gush? Yeah, maybe that is a throwback to this. Gush is a pretty heavily played card, I think, in some formats. We find Scryfall. Scryfall usually has nice high-res images. So definitely like some kind of geyser, some merfolk actually in the foreground here. So let's see. Yeah, just a big geyser. I can't tell what's going on. I'm pretty sure this is just a beautiful... This is actually kind of a delta here. It looks like a flooded plain, actually. So you can see the flood, but it's all underneath the stupid box. You can only see like a little bit of like a river here. I don't know. It's a nice, compelling composition. You've got the floating islands, the dramatic vertical element in the middle, but I think that we're losing a ton by obscuring the foreground in a lot of these cards, just a lot of them. Here, you've got these actually, I don't know if any of you guys who join me for my stream practice bonsai, like the little trees that like Mr. Miyagi did in The Karate Kid. But these trees are actually pretty bonsai-esque. One of the very popular styles for bonsai trees is to sort of bend the branches to evoke this idea of having been affected by heavy winds over many years. So I'd love to see that, but again, you can see that the lovely trunk line is just being blocked by a big white thing. Like, look how much extra white there is. Like, there's a whole extra like 1.5 centimeters or something of white that has no text on it that could just have like 8% more art or something there. So yes, I think this is beautiful. I love the symmetrical lens flare going on here, and it's just kind of insane, like what's going on in the background. It's very Zendikari. I like that the background is hazy. The foreground where we're sitting is a little bit more subdued lighting. We're probably sitting underneath the shade of one of these trees. I'm not sure where the heath, like the plains aspect of it, comes in. Again, some of that might be like in the foreground getting obscured. But the windswept aspect of it, you have like leaves blowing actually in the air, and you have another little bonsai tree in the background. So and a few more over here. So yes, definitely high marks for this land here, I think. Wooded foothills, terrible. It's just this is probably like I don't know. There's no red in the art anywhere. There's barely any green. I don't know. Next, Valakut. That is a proper Valakut. Wow. Okay, this is a Valakut that I would be proud to have in my stupid Titan Shift deck. Lovely. They even managed to not block all the awesome lava in the foreground with the stupid white box. Yeah, this is excellent, I think. I'm not sure that the frame works as well here as in some of the other ones where it's providing more contrast. For example, like Seachrome Coast, like beautiful, these crazy white lines. This kind of blends in a little. It kind of has to. It just is what it is. It's not bad. I just think that the frame in some instances is exceptional. Here, it's just like, it's pretty cool, I think. Celestial Colonnade. Wow. This is awesome. I mean, I just love. I'm sort of struck by this figure that's being made out of these floating. It's reminiscent, I think, of the original Celestial Colonnade that's sort of being assembled by various sort of pieces of rock. But this one actually has these big sort of cyan wings that look like that maybe they're made out of clouds or something. And as far, sorry, I clicked something by mistake. As far as, what you expect, like a 4/4 flying finisher for control to look like, I mean, that pretty much hits the nail on the head, I think, like blue and white. They've controlled you the whole game, and now they're going to summon this crazy rock monster to just come and like smash into you a few times. Oh God, it would just be so much better without this. Like, you get more dark rock down here, and you have this guy kind of rising out of the clouds. But still, even as it is, really excellent, I think. Creeping Tar Pit, also well done. A little bit too dark, I think. Can't really tell too much definition. I see some like oozy stuff kind of swirling. Not really sure I'm buying that this is some kind of threatening or evasive creature here. It's just, it looks creeping, I guess, but it's not, I don't know. I'm not really seeing the creature-y aspect of this. And again, very, very little contrast in the art itself and in the frame. Grove of the Burn Willows, definitely a throwback to the original art, and it works. It works really well. You've got the trees, which are sort of quintessential green elements, and then you've got just, they're all on fire. So red, green, red, sort of spirit, but the crazy sort of orange and yellow colors just jump out. Same as Valakut. Like, if you're playing some deck that wants Grove of the Burn Willows, like, it's just gonna be so sick to draw this off the top and be like, look at how much money I have. Check this card out. Horizon Canopy, it's very, very similar to sort of past art, but very well done. You can see I think the white and the green, nice art. Strip Mine, extremely abstract. And I love abstract art in Magic. Like, even if I think it could be better, like, I don't have any complaints about this one in particular, but I love it because you want your deck, I think, for me, I want my deck to have like a diverse sort of arrangement, or not arrangement, but a diverse collection or whatever of different styles of art. And so this is certainly different. It's really hard to tell even what's going on. You've got this kind of edge here. Like, it almost kind of looks like an Eldrazi is like wrapping somebody up, but it also kind of looks like the ground is like swallowing the person, or maybe there's like, it's a big sandworm or something coming to eat this little guy. I almost kind of wish the figure wasn't in here. or if it was something else like a horse or a bird or a dog or something. I think the guy looks a little corny, but the abstract nature of it is gorgeous. The wasteland, the art is beautiful, but I thought it was going to be like a soul ring or something. I'm not sure what the circle is all about here. It's wasting something. It's not really wasting a land. I think there is sort of a missed opportunity here where they could have done like a typical Zendikar style land, with like all this crazy floating stuff, and then somehow have it being wasted, right? Like how would it look if like 80 floating islands were suddenly destroyed? That would be a nice piece of art. This to me just looks like, it looks first of all very black, right? Doesn't this look like a black card? It looks like it should cost 2 black mana and be like, I don't know. Black doesn't destroy artifacts. This looks like an artifact, but it's definitely black looking art. Anyhow, it looks like it should be called like Soul Suck or something like that. Luxury Suite. I saw this. I think it's kind of a cute idea. I like the idea of Rakdos being this extremely indulgent group of like vampires that just like sit around and do all sorts of debauched things all the time. I wish that the Luxury Suite had people doing things, like gambling or I don't know, like scantily clad. You know how the vampires look like on some of these planes. Like they just live the good life generally. This is a little bit too somber for the Luxury Suite, I think. You guys agree or you disagree? I think they sort of missed the point here a little bit. Sea of Clouds, hard to mess that one up. This is definitely a Sea of Clouds. Check. Bountiful Promenade. I don't really see the bounty. The Promenade. I also don't really see the Promenade. So I don't know, kind of whatever. I do like the blues against the greens, kind of lovely. This is a cool composition. I love the transition from the foreground into the middle and then distance. It's kind of mountainous, kind of green. I wish there was some red thrown in somewhere, maybe a little explosion in the background, like a little volcano going off or something. But still, I give it a pass, B+. Ancient Tomb, kind of interesting, makes you think. Look at it, check it out, think about what's going on. Who is this person in the tomb? It's okay. Again, a B, B-. Cavern of Souls. The yellow frame is fun, but this art is pretty stupid. It's a bunch of geometric shapes with like foam coming out. Prismatic Vista, kind of neat. Merfolk Pool, it's a pool. It's got some contrast, some darks and brights. Again, like B+. So anyhow, it gets us down to the showcases, which are really like where like I think a lot of the interesting art is happening. Nahiri, I think, is kind of too basic. Jace is like, I don't know, he's this mischievous dude, whereas like I think he's typically this very pensive mind mage, and here he looks a little bit, I don't know, too Ashiok-ish, too, what do I want to say, rakish, too silly. Jace, you look too silly here. Nissa, I like, so she's kind of like all about the bounty, right? Like she brings fruition wherever she goes, and the way that all of this kind of crazy growth is surrounding her, I think, is doing a good job. Her face is a little too nondescript. Also, there's not enough definition, I think, in sort of what's going on in the foreground with her outfit. But it's okay. It's a B. I think Omnith is fun. It's just these glowing orbs. I give that an A. I think for what Omnith is, I think this is kind of pretty sweet. I love this guy. It's very Predator-ish. This is a card that could almost go into Soul Herder if it didn't cost 8,000 mana. Green and red. He's got this glowing red heart, and everything else is literally green. Literally everything else. So A+ to Phylath. I think they just this one's a home run. I think both of these probably get A+. Pretty beautiful. I do really like this showcase frame with these diagonal elements, creating this sort of rotated square frame for what's happening in the art. And just like the saturated colors are so beautiful. Like all of this stuff gets A+s in my book. Like this is just a silly uncommon. This guy is like, it could be done better. I think that if this guy's supposed to be like made out of brush or something, I can see a vine, but he also looks like he's made out of rocks. So I don't know. Maybe that's like, maybe it's the red element is the mountainous part of him, and the green is like the vine surrounding him. I don't know. An A. It could be a little better, but the purples and the reds, gorgeous. This, again, I'll give it an A. It's just some kind of insect, but the composition, you've got just very like nice, broad, flat strokes of color. You kind of feel like you're underneath a forest canopy here, right? With some very muted tones, like just this whole pink facet of the hedron. Similar with this axe, just the extremely green saturated art. This guy, very fun. The yellows and greens, the extremely glowing light, just well executed. This guy, the super bright yellow light on his face, in the green frame. I love it. I love it. Hey, Cactus. Good to see you guys. This evening. I'm just looking at some of the art in this new set. Hopefully, it's not too boring for you. But as you can tell, I'm pretty smitten with the showcase arts. Like, I started with the normal part of the set, right, all the way up at the top. And whether for budget reasons or logistic reasons, there's so much basic art, right? Look, it's a guy on a rock with a stick. Look, it's a sphinx. It's the same as every other sphinx. It's a person with some fire. It's a crazy guy, like beast that's running. Look, it's an angel with a stick. This is cool. This is whatever. This is a guy with another stick. Another guy with a stick. Just like boring nonsense. But now they just like, you go down to the bottom and they just let loose. They're like, all right, you want cool art? Here's some cool art. Look at that lotus cobra. Look at this. Just take a second. Had you ever seen anything like this, much less on a Magic card? It's absurd. It is absurd. Pinks, purples, yellows, turquoise. Ugh. A double plus. This artist needs to do like 5 showcases in every set from now on. This, like, look at the perspective here. And like, why would you think to make the sky pink? But it's amazing. It's beautiful. Like, it's like you have to figure out like where we are, what's happening. So this is obviously like dusk or dawn, and you've got these long sort of shadows, little tiny animals, and then you can see so far away here. Again, I kind of wish that the foreground wasn't covered up, but you can't complain when you've got art like this. Like this panther, there could be so much more contrast. The panther could be more yellow. Whatever this kind of skull or skeleton is could be more white, but they just put like a layer of green over everything. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's just fantastic. I think it's beautiful and gorgeous and super well done. Ultimately, I think an important word is inspired, right? Like, you want art to be inspiring, you want it to be moving, and you want to feel a little bit of genius in them, right? Not just like a guy with a stick, right? Like, oh, it's a playful guy with, I don't know, he's like this and then he's like that. It's kind of stupid, right? But people who really think about what is the mood of this, what is the identity of the card itself, how does it work with the frame? And there are definitely some excellent examples here. Ruin Crab? What do we have going over here? I've got the Archangel Avacyn tattooed and bought the print recently, waiting for it to come. Oh, that's right. I remember you showing me. You were like, I think you shared a picture of one of your tattoos. So that's awesome. Ruin Crab, I don't know. It's a crab. I do love the colors. I think they're really well done. Looks a little bit like an Instagram filter, right? Like kind of ye old photograph or something, but can't complain. It's definitely different. All of this looks very red, very, very red. Little figures in the foreground, they go like a huge way to explaining kind of the scale of what's happening here. This lizard is just having the time of its life. With the sun behind it. I mean, a little bit corny that these are like the same thing. Are they related? Maybe they're related. They're done by the same artist. Is this like a panorama? I don't think it is, right? They don't really link together. So this, I don't know, this guy just really felt like making these guys screaming at like a yellow sun, but they're both beautiful cards by themselves. Again, I think it's a little bit corny if they don't relate to each other. And I don't think they relate to each other, but they have like the same art, so whatever. Uh yeah, Trickster is awesome, Cactus. I when I saw the art for Trickster and the ability, like when I saw the ability, I don't know if you remember this. I was on Reddit a lot more in the past. I wrote like a crazy encyclopedic post on Reddit about like what Trickster can do, like in every matchup, like what creatures can it deal with? Does it have any interesting interactions? So I was really stoked on the ability and also on the art. I sent the cards to the artist to get signed. It took like a year to get it back, but it's the only signed card that I have, and I love having like just special things like that in my deck. Like I'm not really the type of person to have every single card signed. Like I'm not a little OCD like that. Like no offense to anybody who has OCD. It's just that it's not how I approach things. I really like to have just like a mishmash of different things, like different languages, different frames. Yeah, Trickstring Goif, pretty classic. This is fun. Nice backlighting. Like, what are you gonna do with black as far as color goes? So the purple's been a traditional way for artists to kind of bring a little bit of color to the compositions. Quite nice. Dreadworm, little boring. Little boring. Well done, but a little boring. I kind of like what's happening here in the foreground with these angular shapes because it continues to sort of play off of the frame. But I don't know, it doesn't really do very much for me. It does remind me of like the villain. It was when I was a little kid. What is it? The Never Ending Story with like Falcor. You remember that scene where there's a gigantic? Is it a turtle and there's like a cat in a mirror or something? I don't know. Kind of reminding me of that. This is another piece of art that I was really struck by when I saw it. Just like how blue these Felidars are. When you look at the art, you know that these cats are not blue, right? You just know instinctively that they're not blue, but the artist has used only blue basically to paint a cat that we understand this cat is white. Isn't that amazing? That's what good artists can do. Like you've got a totally white cat just chilling under some rocks and suddenly it becomes bluish purple. It's awesome. I like these very striking sort of rock formations. Just excellent. I hope the artists who do these showcases get paid more than like regular artists. This is excellent the way they did this this sort of shape here. Really nice. This guy is again having the time of his life. He's like, "Come at me. I am a fearless fledgling." You can see a very similar effect here with the blue light, and it's actually the same artist. So kudos to him for sort of carrying over the style. I think that that's better executed than like this, where these cards are unrelated. Just like these cards are kind of unrelated, although they're both Felidars, more related than these guys. Like this guy just copied himself. This guy influenced himself. He didn't straight up copy the style. This is beautiful. Wow. And you know what? It sort of doesn't it almost look like a panorama? I know it's not. You flip it over, but there's something about this diagonal line. It just kind of extends into this diagonal line. Almost looks like a panorama. But very well done. Look at these guys falling out of the sky. Like, definitely very ominous, very scary. Like, you don't want to be any of these guys right now. So this is maybe like, I think this was the first showcase maybe that was spoiled, this Ox. And it's just another brilliant example of the use of color in these showcases. Again, it's obviously a white Ox, but it's like all blue, a little bit of purple and pink. And the sky is just this wash of color. It's awesome. This guy is probably the worst showcase that I've seen so far, art-wise. It's just like very typical, very blasé, just like whatever. It's fantasy art. It's silly. It's a demon with a sword or a leg. I don't know what that is. Pretty similar idea going on here. It's a funky like hammerhead dragon. I guess it's fine. It's interesting as far as like a character design goes, but as far as artistic composition, it's not very exciting. This piece is interesting but needs more contrast. I like the artistic nature of it, but really we need to like brighten the brights and get just a little bit more definition in there. This guy's fun. Like the artist didn't have to work very hard here to get most of the piece. Like just kind of here's a bunch of like white and blue. And I like the cheesiness of it. It's like, okay, there's a bunch of hedrons on this plane. I'm gonna take these hedrons and I'm gonna Voltron these hedrons, and you know, it's now just like a Voltron basically, right? So come at me, bro. That's just hedron time, right? So in its simplicity, I like it. I think it's well done. This again, it kind of feels typical fantasy to me. It's an interesting idea. Like the art direction was probably interesting. Like have a bunch of spirits kind of spewing from a sewer or something, but not a lot of contrast, not a lot of depth or interest in the art. Similar feeling going on over here. And I think it's the same artist. So these guys must be. Oh, it's the back of the card, of course. The back of the card. That makes sense. So I wonder if that's happening like on some of these with like back and front. Yeah, almost certainly. Like this is the same artist. Do we have any other double face cards? Whatever. I'm getting excited by these showcases, so I'm gonna sort of keep going. I think this is well done. It is pretty typical. Just again, a person with a stick. But you know, the combination of the pose and the sort of dynamic swirling in the background, I think it's pretty captivating. I think it's pretty nice. This is cool. This is cool. Looks sort of decaying. You can tell it's, you know, some kind of crazy Hydra, and not my favorite. This needs more contrast. This is boring fantasy art. This is boring fantasy art. This is exciting fantasy art. Compare this card to this card. This guy needs a raise. This guy, don't give him so many more commissions, right? This, like, the light here, something off to the side just exploded, right? And, like, this guy's like, I don't care that you're exploding. My name is Ashaya. I am literally the soul of the wild. And it's just being illuminated by this explosion. Like, who knows, like, it's like what's going on with the body. It's just like some kind of crazy plates. But just like the lighting goes so far to make this compelling, interesting, exciting. And this is just a bunch of mist, right? It's a cop-out, right? It's like this guy, but this guy actually has kind of a point. Right? This is just a bunch of blah garbage with like blah, blah, blah. This is basic fantasy nonsense. This is fun. Like, something is exploding in Zendikar, in the sky of Zendikar. There's a bunch of crazy angels. Nicely done. Well done. Beautiful lighting on this. Well done. This is fun. I like how Nahiri is like floating through the sky around all of the lava. So, you know, it's how many ways can you do like lava and rocks and people and have it actually kind of be interesting? It's probably way more challenging than you would think it would be. So yeah, I mean, like, I think her hand is connected to this bit of lava. So there's like, I don't know, it's almost like a dance, right? It's like some connected elements from the foreground to the middle ground. Draws your eye to interesting places in the art. This is probably the worst art in the whole set. This guy should feel bad. Pretty bad. This is cool. Cool-ish. It's, again, like with red cards, what do? Reds and yellows, go nuts, right? Guy with a sword, stupid. This is boring. This is a goblin. It's not that interesting. This is another guy with a sword. This is fun conceptually. It's like you play the land and it's a calm land. If you don't play the land and you cast it as a spell, all of a sudden the land just starts falling on everybody's head. So nicely done. I think well executed. This for me is too static. It seems interesting, like this architecture that's happening here, but just artistically, compositionally, too static. I need more lights. I need more definition. Like this is more interesting. It's way more evocative, right? Like certain aspects of it are glowing. Some of it are dark. There's some smoke coming out of the top. Something is burning. For me, I don't know. This doesn't get the job done. This is pretty boring. This art in a certain way, but it's also really well done. It's I think the word that comes to mind when I look at this is just contemplative, right? It looks like a figure just sort of sitting here, right? Like the thinker, sort of pondering like all this crazy stuff that's going on in Zendikar. And I think it's just sort of a home run as far as evoking that sense, right? It's Forsaken. Nobody comes here anymore, right? It feels like that. It feels abandoned. It feels like nobody comes here. The little tree, for scale, a little bit of brush, like gives a great sense of scale to this. The ooze, it just kind of looks like an ooze. It's got some nice highlights. I think it's pretty well done. I think this almost gets there. It's very nice. A little too cartoonish. Not quite inspiring enough. This is pretty boring. It's just a big beast. This is a fungus. It's kind of cool. A person walking away from some architecture. Not that interesting. This is beautiful. I think at this point I'm just in the full art, and I think I've already talked about some of these, so you guys can rewind and watch it. So this is just the extended art. This guy, Wiley Beckert, is definitely an artist to look out for. I would not be surprised if he says that his artistic style has been influenced by Seb McKinnon. There's definitely a correlation there, but it's also pretty unique. So again, kudos to Wiley Beckert for some really unique art. Probably the most unique in this set, I think, apart from the crazy showcases, which are like next level. All right, so yeah, just all old art at this point. Already talked about it. So that's it. Let's go ahead and actually talk about a relevant spoiler here. All right, Cactus, good to see you, man. Have a good night. Any of you guys with me here, you have any thoughts on this card, particularly with regards to Merfolk, since I'm going to be playing Merfolk this evening? So first and foremost, it's a land, right? It comes in tapped. We typically want to avoid things coming in tapped, right? So in the past, what lands have we played that always come in tapped? The answer is few to none. Some people have played Fairy Conclave, far from being able to call itself core for Merfolk. You know, like Mutavault. Mutavault is a core card. It comes in untapped. It can block the turn that it comes in if you need it. Provide mana the turn that it comes in if you need it. Fairy Conclave always enters tapped, right? So it's a big drawback. You can't use it for mana right away. But we have a lot of 2-drops on turn 3. You can play Fairy Conclave, play a 2-drop. Not a big deal. You kind of think about it as like casting a creature in a way. So tapped lands, typically something we want to avoid. But if you have enough lands, then it's a spell. And the spell is actually pretty cool. You can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types, right? So we are definitely in the market for cards that can copy lords, cards that can copy tricksters, cards that can copy silvergills. So pretty nice value that a tap land, if we have enough lands, can convert into a Merfolk, basically. I think I'm definitely going to try at least one of these. And this evening, we can try to imagine some of our lands as being this card and think, like, would this be good in this spot? Would it be bad in this spot? I mean, a land that you can violin is a rare thing, right? It's actually pretty cool, right? So, I don't know, not hearing a lot of thoughts in the chat about this extremely kind of innovative design. We haven't seen anything like this before this new Zendikar set. All right, so I guess that's probably going to do it for the spoiler review. Covered a lot of material, actually. I wasn't really planning on doing that, but I wanted to give you you guys some time to get here. So let me go ahead and close that, and then I guess I'll close this as well. Too much stuff. All right, so what am I playing this evening? If you guys want to see the deck list, it should be over here in Cardboard Live. So let me go ahead and resize this window. You guys can see my sideboard. I believe this is the most recent list that I designed, that I 5-0'd with. More recently, I 5-0'd with the Dogfishes, just blue-white, with Mariner and Luris. It's a very, very good build. But I like mono blue, and I do want to try to play with that. I think it's called glass pool something or other. So we can try to pretend like Castle Vantris is this glass pool tonight, and see if it would be good or bad coming in tapped. All right, so I'm playing with 4 main deck Tidebinders. We're going to hopefully play against a bunch of green and red decks. 4 Master of Waves. Maybe it's going to be bad, but kind of miss the guy. And I don't have a time, too much. Let's see. Lonely Isotope. How does it turn into the land? You're asking about that spoiler that I just showed? When it's in your hand, it's both the land and the creature, and you can choose which side you play. So if you want to play it as a land, you play it as the land. It comes in tapped, and now it's just a land. Some people are psyched about the synergy with Deprive, because you can play it as a land and then later play Deprive and bounce it to your hand and then vial it in as a creature. So potentially pretty strong with Deprive. It's a little cute. Who knows if it'll actually be good. But let's go ahead and play some Magic. I'm not going to do a queue. I'm going to do a league. And I believe this is the list. Yep. So Isotope, it's not coming onto the battlefield as a creature and then transforming into a land. With all of these double face cards in the new Zendikar set, you choose which side you play, and that's it. It's that simple, really. Okay, looks like, well, Hayashi has gotten another trophy, pulling ahead. He was at 32 for a little while, maybe a few days, against 27, but now he's at 33 against 27. He's got 6 days to maintain his lead. I think he's got it covered, so fingers crossed on that. M. Hayashi also started not streaming, but doing some uploads lately. I think his YouTube is called like Magic Matt, if I'm not mistaken. This is a keep. Opponent kept as well. But if any of you guys are interested in seeing M. Hayashi's videos, he's still kind of learning how to do it, because he hasn't really had a lot of experience, I don't think, making videos. But if you ask anybody in the Discord, they'll give you a link to his channel for sure. Oh, I just played against this guy like earlier today. I don't know what he's on. I can't remember. But I think it's some kind of like escape shift type thing. So we got the crazy tempo bear hand going right now. Yeah, some kind of ramp / Field of the Dead deck. Doesn't look like they have the best opening playing Field of Ruin right away. Start the beats. There's that art we talked about before. Very nice art. I'm going to hit this Triome, man. Pretty sweet. It's going to draw me a card. Hopefully I can draw a land. Hopefully this sets them back a good amount. I mean, they are playing blue, so it's not taking them off all their colors. Maybe they have like a Remand or a Spell Snare. Fair enough. I do have another Spreading Seas, though. Actually, I have 2 other Spreading Seas. Miss your land drop, opponent. So I might have to change plans here. I might need to like upkeep. Oh, it's Uro. All right. Uro is okay. I guess we'll see what we draw to determine like what we're going to play. At this point, Spreading Seas not that relevant. As it turns out, they do have a bunch of lands. Not quite sure why they opened up with Field of Ruin here. Wow. I don't know. I kind of want to draw another land, but I kind of also want to play creatures. We can take them off black, which is something. So I think I'll do that. I'm kind of. They have the shields down for the moment. We can cast our creatures uncounterable. We can't cast Spreading Seas uncounterable. So, I mean, they do have a field here which can blow up the cavern, but that's not the end of the world. If we draw a land here, oh, they're forcing. That's awesome. That's actually really good for us. Though they're getting pretty close to casting Uro. Let's see. They're keeping us on 2 lands, but Merfolk doesn't care too much as long as the opponent isn't doing very much. They seem to really want to protect this Zagoth Triome. I mean, they do have access to black through the Field of Ruin, but maybe they don't have a basic swamp in the deck. So they exiled 1 Spreading Seas. One of them is in the graveyard. It's like Wilderness Wreck. That's pretty... Okay, well... What's Jace doing? Just brainstorming, hopefully, and then the Lord... a Lord could just kill him. Oh, just bouncing. That's sort of okay-ish, I guess. Okay, that fetch is going to get them one closer to casting Uro. This is representing black, so... Played my land for the turn. I don't think I want to go for Spreading Seas here. Probably just going to hold up Trickster. Can't help but feel like we're falling behind here with the opponent having Jace on the board. They are down to 2 cards, but they have an Uro in the graveyard. Not cracking the Polluted Delta. Interesting. Maybe they're trying to keep like Fatal Push online. So now they're just brainstorming. They know I have a Trickster. They could have any number of removal spells in hand, and they're going to start pulling way ahead with this Chase if we don't deal with it soon. I do have 4 Pithing Needles in the sideboard, which will definitely come in for game 2 and maybe game 3 if there is one. Okay, opponent getting back Force of Negation. Seems okay. I mean, maybe they're going to Cryptic tap my team. I feel like after I cast the Trickster, they might just go Field of Ruin on the Cavern, which would then allow me to cast a second Trickster, which would be pretty fun. Okay. Okay, opponent not having it. They don't want to crack their Field of Ruin just yet. I kind of want to draw lands. I think it's probably better to play Silvergill here. Show Harbinger, I don't know, whatever. This game is going a little sideways. I think we're going to get wrecked by Uro. Well, that's kind of cool. 2 cards in the opponent's hand. Can try to play Seas again, but it doesn't really do much at this point. I think I'll just hold up Trickster. Slightly ahead on the clock at this point. Opponent has to go for this field here. And yeah, I might as well just get this down uncounterable right now. I doubt they're working with board wipes over there. Don't see any white mana. So, I mean, drawing a Force of our own would be pretty cool at a certain point, just to prevent the opponent from, like, casting Cryptic Command and tapping down our team. Maybe we'll be able to kill Jace. I mean, they're just going to cast Uro right now, which is kind of nasty, and potentially a reason to not have cast that Trickster, but I feel like I couldn't not cast my creature here. We do have 2 more Tricksters in the deck, so... Alright, so here's Uro. We can just... They know I have a Harbinger, which is a little bit weird. Possible I should have just shown the Trickster. Oh man, all right. Well, it begins. We haven't seen any lords. Can hold up Harbinger to sort of bounce Uro. We are at 20, but I think things are going. Oh, they have black mana now. Huh. I mean, this is getting a little sketchy here at this point. Bouncing Uro is not even that amazing because they just replay it, draw cards, play lands, get zombies. So I think I kind of want to play. I'll play Silvergill without the Cavern. See what they want to do about it. If they counter it, they tap down. Maybe I can like seize the field. Oh, they let it resolve. I guess they don't care about that. Well, Master of Waves could potentially stabilize. That's interesting. So now, I mean, the play is just to go for the field. They've got 4 cards in hand, and they've been brainstorming, so I'm pretty sure they've got some kind of counter spells. And no counter spells. Ether Vial, maybe not the best right here. All right, so they don't have counter spells. At least they don't have ones that they can cast with 3 mana. So maybe they have a Cryptic. They've got black, so Fatal Push, Snapcaster Fatal Push. Kind of getting buried in this game. A mix of Uro and Jace, and might as well start thinking about how we're going to sideboard. So, Ether Gust going to be good, I guess, against Uro and maybe like Wilderness Reclamation if they have that. Oh my God, another field. I have another Spreading Seas. The Deprive seem good. Echoing Truths maybe seem good. Dismember's pretty bad. Pithing Needles will come in. Relic will come in. I mean, no reason to block at this point. I'm pretty sure we're just out of this game at this point. Well, that force is a little bit late. I could play Master and get like 4 tokens, but it's really not that great. I mean, Lords should be excellent in this matchup. It's just that we kept a hand with like Tempo Bears that don't really do anything. And I think I'm just going to scoop here, guys. Not worth my time trying to dig out of a hole like this where like bouncing Uro is going to do exactly nothing. Could bounce 2 zombies, but they've got 2 more zombies. We've got no Lords. They had another Field of the Dead. All right, so all these artifacts are coming in. We're going to name Jace for sure. If they have, like, we know that they have like Misty Rainforest, Field of the Dead. Maybe we don't need all the needles. We'll have to give it a think. I do like Deprives. Ugh, sometimes my clicking device doesn't do its job very well. Ether Gust, I mean, I don't know. We've already got like 7 counter spells. Ether Gust. I guess Ether Gusting like an escaped Uro, or even just a cast Uro, that's probably pretty good, right? I don't know. I feel like the deck is mostly... blue spells, right? Spreading Seas can come out. We've got tons of access to Island Walk. Harbinger, probably not the best. Like, I just don't love bouncing Uro. I think Master of Waves sort of seems fine-ish. Tidebinder, in theory, should be fine. But maybe we don't need 4 of them since it's not like a Wild in the Cattle deck and we've got some time. So I'll leave in 2 of the Tidebinders. And I don't know. Hope that we draw Lords. And Master of Waves is just like a way other than Lords to actually try to win the game. Maybe I'll trim 1 Pithing Needle, I guess. And we'll run it back. See how it goes. I think this is probably an unfavorable matchup. There's so many random Uro decks that it's hard to say like, oh, I'm good against this deck, I'm bad against this deck. Ugh, I thought that was Ether Vial for a second, but it's not, so mulligan. That's Ether Vial. So we're going to keep the spells that we can cast, and I'll probably just bottom the 4-drop. No, I'm going to bottom Deprive, I think. Well, we're on a mulligan, so maybe it's best just to pitch the Force so that I don't further get in a hole with card disadvantage. We've got Silvergill to try to help us climb out of our mulligan a little bit. We are going to keep this, and we didn't see Wilderness Wreck. I do like Force to be able to like stop something really important like a Jace. So I'll just put Deprive on the bottom, I guess. I mean, another way to... We have 4 Master of Waves in the deck, and it's going to be a while. So maybe I'll put Master of Waves on the bottom. Ugly Hood Rat, welcome to the stream. Love the name. That's a cat? Cat with some funky eyes. Is that from Nikachu's channel, I feel like? Opponent kept 7, of course. And if they force my Ether Vial, we are going to be in a bad spot. Okay, they did not. Relic against the Uro deck. Seems good. I am... I don't know. Merfolk Master. It's so funny. Beautivault. It's a land. It's actually a fine land. I'm going to play the Relic. Force this, maybe? Nope. My opponent doesn't seem to have the Force. John can keep the Merfolk Master title. I will just be Merfolk player number 3 or 4 or whatever. All right, opponent's got something to play here. Abrupt Decay, fun. Can't counter that, which is unfortunate. Okay, Ether Vial down. Where's Luris when you need it? Him, her. I think Luris is a mom, actually. Because it has, like, the baby Luris in the background. Well, we can do exactly nothing here. I think holding up Force is better. I think maybe attacking is better. We are an aggressive deck. I haven't drawn my glass pool yet this game. We're trying to pretend that Castle Vantress is glass pool to see if it would be good or bad. Field of the Dead. So that was a good attack. See if I attack again, the opponent goes like Snapcaster, just like Ambush Viper. Actually, I have a better plan now. You know, if they have counterspells, they have counterspells. Spell Snare, Remand, all this stuff that they do. That's what we're playing against, so... We don't have Vial, so opponents' counterspells are going to be good. It's going to be a slog. Fruit Kid, you're number 1 in my book. Number 1 Merfolk player. There's so many good Merfolk players, honestly. Like, it's pretty cool how people have... sort of come up in the Discord lately. Like there's Dogfish and Bishark and oh well, this let's think if this would be good as a land or as the copying thing. We don't really need another land in the spot, so potentially good as a creature. I kind of feel like attacking would be reasonable here. Not really sure, like definitely kind of in a corner here. Opponent got me where they want me with Abrupt Decay on my Ether Vial. Are we going to get Ambush Vipered here? Seems fine with Relic on the board, right? Opponent, maybe they can get something out of Snapcaster Mage at some point. So imagine we were playing it as a land. We do have Deprive, so we could pick it up and play it as a clone later. So Hood Rat, I spent like on the returning. That's boring. I guess I could just counter that. But I kind of want to let it resolve and just Nah, I'll counter it. I like keeping the Mutavault on the table. They could force. It's my turn. And now we just go ahead and nip that in the bud. And we still have force up, so... No. I mean, there's that glass pool card that I'm just talking about now. Okay. Uro's fine. That resolves. I don't know how I'm ahead of the opponent. Like, I don't know how that happens when I'm doing streams and somehow I'm, like, ahead. People would say that Merfolk is a very easy deck to play and doesn't take any thought or whatever, but that's not true. That's simply not true. All right, is this guy gonna die to Mutavault? Is that what's gonna happen, opponent? You're gonna let it up? Let's get this. You know, make him crack those lands. Dude, Fruit Kid, you were a little bit disappointed. It was super crazy disappointing. All of the spoilers were crazy disappointing. Let me focus here for a second. I'm definitely trying to attack here. Yeah, no, we didn't get any just straight up good Merfolk, which is really just another slap in the face in a long series of slaps in the face. Why did the opponent not put a fetch into the graveyard and leave Uro? Man, stupid zombies are coming. I've gone 2 games without drawing any lords. I guess they did it for this reason, to make the zombies now, but they'd make the zombies... I guess they needed to get their land count to 7 before they start making more zombies. Yeah, it was Trickster, I think. So we'll play a Trickster. Opponent's just going to let it resolve. They could have, at this point, Cryptic Command, any number of nasty spells. Just get like a Sanctuary loop going. And we can't draw Lords for the life of us. And I could crack this Relic now. If I draw a Lord, I could play it. But I'm shook with, all this mana up. I mean, we're just going to lose to zombies, right? So I need to start doing something. Hoodrat, the deck is over here with Cardboard Live. If you give it a little click. Master of Waves. I'm sort of priced into waiting here. And I can't really attack. Just pass the turn, hold up Force and Trickster, with really, I mean, the idea being that I'm going to just cast the Trickster. Man, Field of the Dead is so busted. it's not a new opinion. Opponent definitely has a lot of lands. Escape Shift? Oh, Jace. I guess I need to counter that, or try to at least. Opponent, Cryptic Command. Just put me in my place right now. It's so dirty. Oh my god. Fine. I'm like all over the place with my Merfolk decks. There's no one list right now. Modern is crazy hyper diverse. And there's cases to be made for main decking anything at this point. This deck is particularly geared towards hosing red and green decks. It's got the 4 main deck Tidebinders, the 4 main deck Master of Waves. It's just kind of a slightly older but still viable way to play the deck. Opponent is tapped out, and I'm still not drawing lords. A land there would have been interesting because I could have cast Trickster and then made 5 tokens. These zombies are just gonna just kill me pretty soon. I'll play Silvergill. If I draw a land, I'll play Master of Waves. If I draw a Lord, I'll kill Jace. And then I'll just die either way, I guess. So tap like this, I guess. I draw, yeah, that's fine. Let's reveal another Trickster, I guess. No, it's just like whatever. Lord? Cabinet of Souls, I don't know. Land was one possibility. But still, I mean, Jace can just bounce this guy. It's pretty terrible. I think I should still hold on to Master of Waves, tap down one of their zombies, play a bunch of things, get a bunch of elementals. Just try not to die. I do have a Cavern of Souls now that I can sort of play through counterspells. So, yeah. Pass the turn. Hoodrat. So once again, there's like a bazillion versions of Merfolk, and I play them all. I play Simic, I play Blue-White, I play Bant, I play Mono-Blue. I think I've played Blue-Black, like combo at some point. I've been playing Merfolk for like, I don't even know, like 8, 9, 10 years or something, and in the current metagame, it seems like the Blue-White version with Lurrus and Unsettled Mariner is the best. Oh, look at that. Field of Ruin, right on time. Why not? But I didn't feel like playing the same old Blue-White list tonight. I felt like having some fun with Mono Blue, or trying to. This list does very well against Prowess-type decks, of which there are many. All right, so opponent with the extremely timely Field of Ruin, but they do have Jace helping them brainstorm. And, you know, we're really just sort of spinning our wheels here. The opponent has 8,000 mana, and we don't have Cavern of Souls anymore, so getting this Master of Waves on the board is probably just like a pipe dream, and it doesn't even really make enough tokens. Yeah, a little late to the game there, Pithing Needle. All right, so we're going to try to cast Master of Waves. It's going to get countered, and we'll just scoop and move on to round 2. Fruit Kid, I glanced at it for a second, and I didn't look at all the details, but I did notice that, all right, so we're going to scoop, guys, and we'll just move along. It does feel like a terrible matchup. We'll go ahead and concede, particularly when, like, they turn to Abrupt Decay. Our Ether Vial is just so dirty. Unsportsmanlike. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Fruit Kid. Like, rather than just replacing lands with Glass Pool, it might just prevent us from getting screwed more often. So I beat that guy before playing Soul Herder. I crushed him. Just completely crushed his deck. So welcome to the stream, everybody. It's spoiler season. Oh my god, it's so sad. Like, every day when they spoil like 2 new Merfolk, and it's like 4 mana, 2/2 that you can kick for 5 more mana, and Scry 2 or something. It's like, they're so bad. Always. And it's just like, spoiler season, I hate it, actually. It's just like traumatic for us. Just like each day, just like punch in the stomach, elbow to the throat. It's just, I don't know, whatever. Wizards, you can keep your spoilers. More than unplayable, just insulting and stupid. Like, they make, I think we got a rare 2-drop and it like steals artifacts. Like, really? That's what you think we're looking for? We got a 1-drop with flying, which is nice, but it's a 1/1, which is not nice, and it mills the opponent, which is also not nice. Like, it's so random. Like, blue-black is already mill. You didn't need to take a mono-blue tribe and suck it into a blue-black mechanic. It's just obnoxious. I don't know. So we're just waiting. For anybody who had questions about the deck, can come over here. We can give it a look-see. It's pretty, I don't know, naive. I've got some dismembers in the sideboard, but it's got 12 tempo bears, so it's going to be great in certain matchups and really bad in control matchups like we just played against. All right, well, we're winning the die roll. This guy looks like he knows what he's doing. Or she, I should say. Ah, that's a keep. That is a keep. There's no companion involved. It's probably not burn, probably not black-red prowess. And, you know, we've got forces to back us up. Oh, so this is humans, so I pretty much mulligan to 5. Oh, it's elementals, which, you know, I still mulligan to 5. Oh, I get to counter an ether vial. That's awesome. So there's only one way we win this game, guys, and it's if we draw nothing but gas and the opponent has very little, or hopefully they just have no lands. Ugh, okay, all right, well, we're drawing our tempo bears. We did keep the one lander. Yeah, we got to use the force, which is like, you know, not totally dead. This guy gonna play Phantasmal Image right now? Okay, well, yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. Whatever, I've got this one mana sitting here doing nothing. Yep. All right, well, I was talking on Discord extensively yesterday and the day before about Mutavault, not just in, well, not in Mono Blue, but particularly in Simic, but kind of like across all the Merfolk decks. And there's a guy in the Discord, Vismore. He's been around for a long time. Definitely respect his opinions on Merfolk, but he tracks his data, and he says that like he wants to play a playset of Mutavaults in Simic, which to me seems super greedy because not only are you trying to get double blue, you're trying to get like blue-green. Whenever I play Mutavault in blue-white or in blue-green, like it's just non-stop screw. Like I draw Mutavault and I can't cast anything. So it is a land. We like lands, but they have a place and time when they're good, and other places and times where they're bad. So I do like a playset of Mutavaults in Mono Blue. Magicus was saying that 3 could be okay, and I don't have any opposition to playing 3. 3 is not very far away from 4, and the difference in the percentages is not massive, right? But once you cut from 4 down to 2 in Mono Blue, yes, your mana is going to be more consistent, but we're a monocolor deck anyway, and so we're already pretty consistent. So in Mono Blue, I like 3 or 4 Mutavaults, but in Simic, like I'm not ever playing 3 or 4 Mutavaults. So opponent in the tank. I don't know what to do if they attack with Unsettled Mariner. Probably just bounce it with Harbinger. Oh no, I'm sorry. I would play the Lord and eat it with Mutavaults. They could have main deck Dismember, but that's not a blowout at all. So opponent just weighing their odds, I guess, at this point. What are the odds that I have a Lord in hand? Place your bets. If it was against that Uro deck that I just played, odds that I have a Lord in hand would be exactly 0. Between our opening hands and all of our turns, we saw something like 30 cards, and none of them were Lords. So, oh, Fruit Kid, are you talking about the card where like you kick it? No, it doesn't even. It's like when it enters the battlefield, you get to look at the top cards. Phantasmal Image, huh? All right, that's fair. You have to attack here, right? Have to attack. Come on. Let's go. How are you going to win the game if you don't attack, opponent? All right. So, I guess you just put the Lord in here. Yes, I would like to. Well, Hoodrat, there's so many things that we want in Merfolk. Like even just throwing flash on anything makes it so much better in our deck. The sort of style that we want to play. Oh my god, I'm giving them Island Walk. Oh my god. At least I can kill one with Harbinger. I guess I can attack and see if they block one of them. Or block them. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with Mutavault. Oh, wait. No. No. Oh, wait. Hold on. This guy can still target. It can still target. It will just counter the ability, which is fine. All I need is a target, so. Ah, they're taking it. All right. More unsold Mariners, I guess. So now they have to attack. Is this going to be... Oh, it's Flicker Wisp. Oh my god, I'm getting beaten up tonight, guys. What is this land? All right, Elemental Land. It doesn't look like they're casting... Oh, they're casting that crazy Lightning Skelemental. Man, and I can't even bounce that thing. Because I can't pay for it. Yuck. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. That was poor. These guys have Island Walk, too. So nasty. I'm going to have to discard 2 of my cards. But this guy's getting sacked, so... Tidebinder not even that useful. We are going to get to kill this thing. If I'm understanding the interaction correctly, which, you know, peace. Yeah. I don't have to pay for this. And if this thing does any damage to me at all, I have to discard 2 cards. Which is disgusting. So I'm going to say no, and also okay, and no. So trading with the Mariner is probably fine here. And then we're just gonna... Wait, I can't Island Walk, never mind. Okay. No blocks. Well played, opponent. Tidebinder Mages. I guess... Yeah, I don't know. Tidebinder Mages. With the Lord, I can at least try to race. So I'm going to Violin the Lord and attack for 11, a 2-turn clock. Land? Interesting. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even Violet in here because it's still a 2-turn clock, but you know, not a big... I said 11, didn't I? 4, 4, and 3. Go, Gadget, Merfolk. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we could be ahead. Hopefully the opponent just plays an island here, not just like totally... We should be dead anyway, unless they have like a whole bunch of creatures. I mean, if you get a Trickster, it could be pretty good. Opponent's got 4 lands, though. They can play a bunch of creatures. Trickster, pay 1 mana to tap something, seems nice. Skelemental is pretty dirty, but it should still only take us down to 2. Ramzamela 7. Nice name. Opponent in the tank. We do have some Spreading Seas in the main. Actually, we have 4 Spreading Seas in the main. I'd have to tap out to play the Spreading Seas with the Mariner on the battlefield. Is this another? Oh, well, that gets to put something on top. All right. Maybe it gets something with haste, and they just like throw a ton of damage at me. I like the skelemental, but then they have to draw it and cast it. I've still got lethal around these blocks, so presumably they have another creature in hand. I'm sorry, Hoodrat, are you asking if I'm Canadian? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, well, this is not going to get the job done, right? It's just 7 damage, so no blocks. You got me. I guess if they have a dismember, probably still doesn't do it. You don't have another creature. Get out of here, opponent. I'm not Canadian. I'm born and bred in New York. Actually, Long Island. I had kind of a Long Island accent when I was a kid, but I went to the Midwest for college, and people sort of made fun of my accent. So, I learned to sort of just like drop the Long Island sort of stuff, you know, where you're talking about drinking some coffee and eating some oranges. It's pretty bad. So, nope, I'm from New York. I live in Brooklyn right now, and I play Magic. And I get beaten by elementals somehow. Like, they managed with 4 mana to get 3 creatures on the battlefield. And they don't need to be in the tank right now, opponent. You already put a card on the top of the deck. You're just going to put the same card on the top of the deck. You're either going to die on my turn right now, or you're going to win. Yeah. Okay. You got me. Let's see. So Trickster is fine here. No main deck dismembers. So Trickster, Spreading Seas. So we've got 4 Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas, I can pay for this Unsettled Mariner. That wins. Trickster, I can pay here. Still activate and attack. So that's 8 out. Actually, even Tidebinder is fine. So we've got 2 more Tidebinders in the deck, 4 Tricksters, 4 Spreading Seas. So what? 10 outs if I'm not messing it up. Long Island represent for sure. I grew up in Freeport. It's a pretty tough town. Jesus, deck. That is pretty stupid top deck right there. So whatever. I'm just going to attack with everything. And then die. I'm going to die to the Skelemental. Come on, deck. So many outs. What? Oh, okay. All right. For a second, I thought I was getting 7 in there. Don't block. Okay. Yeah, let's just, I don't know, we're gonna scoop, but they have Omnath, and they have Lightning Skelemental, and they can't really mess it up because it forces them to do the trigger. So once again, not gonna waste anybody's time, just gonna concede. Valley Stream, all right. I think my dad runs a 7-Eleven right now. Actually, he's retired. He's a retired police officer, but he bought a 7-Eleven. And I think his 7-Eleven is in Valley Stream, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably mistaken, though. I don't talk to my dad as much as I should. Man, like, we have good cards for that matchup. I guess we mulliganed that time. No, we kept a 1-lander, which is fine. Ether Gust seems okay. Gets to put, oh, well, it's red or green, right? So, yeah, that seems pretty good. All right, Hoodrat, thanks very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you're not following, give me a follow. Always appreciate that. I stream on Mondays and Wednesdays. I also play Soul Herder. Pithing Needle for Ether Vial is a way to, like, cheese a win off of these guys. Yeah, they otherwise don't have too many activated abilities. It's all, like, triggered stuff. So maybe one relic might be called for, so that light or maybe even two, just like that Thunderkin Awakener, so he doesn't get us. Take out all the forces. I mean, I guess Tidebinder is pretty good, but all their stuff is ETB value. We would like Island Walk, I guess. So I don't even know what to trim here. This is like such a mess. Maybe Echoing Truth, not the best, just because it's, again, sort of ETB, except for Lightning Skelemental, which is a decent thing to bounce. I gotta trim 3 cards. Oh, thanks very much. I'll see you later. Master, it's a very fast matchup, so maybe like 4 Masters is a little overkill. We might not get to it. Maybe you can trim 1 Spreading Seas. Because we're not really mono-screwing them with Spreading Seas. I think I'll keep in the Echoing Truth. I like all the Tempo Bears. So all that leaves is like Silvergills. Trim 1 Silvergill, 2 Silvergills. It's always weird trimming Silvergills, but sometimes you got to do it. If there's like just very good cards in the matchup that you have to bring in. Relic is pretty situational, so you know. Elementals is not a deck you play against every day, so you don't really plan on seeing the matchup. You know, it's like this is gonna have to do, I think. And this is like one of those rare hands, like really rare hands, where I'll probably open with Mutavault. If the opponent doesn't have something to blow up my Ether Vial, we should be able to get to Master of Waves. We can Violin on 2, we can Violin on our upkeep. Hopefully they have something red to tap down, then we can do the Ether Vial trick to sort of skip 3 and get to 4. Opponent did mulligan to 6. We also don't have Silvergills, so Mutavault's not really going to help us cast too much. Also, without blue mana, Spreading Seas, of which there are 3 in the deck at this point, uncastable at the moment. Well, that's decent. I like that. It's going to help us curve out. I'm going to take my attack here. I don't think they're dismembering. I'm pretty sure they're just F6'd here. Somehow I'm like 2 minutes ahead on the clock here. Well, 1.5 minutes. We're going to see another Mariner. It didn't seem to really do anything last game. Voice of Resurgence. Well, that gets tapped down by Tideminder Mage. Nice. Value. So this we're pretending is the clone, and I think it's actually pretty sick in this spot, because this turn I can play like Cavern, Violin. I'm going to Violin Tidebinder no matter what right here. And I'm pretty sure I prefer getting down another body. But if I cast spells on their turn, Voice is going to make tokens, so we do have to be careful about that. Like we could copy Master of Waves with the clone, so that would be pretty awesome. But in this game, it's just going to be a land. So since they've got this thing on the battlefield and we don't want to give them tokens, I think I'm just going to attack here. Hopefully they play another green or red creature that's not Lightning Skelemental. You know what? Possible I should have played around Skelemental, because Skelemental does us so dirty, like, and I could have left up Ether Vial. All right. Well, Mariner will tax me. It also can't tap him down with Trickster. I mean, with Tidebinder. So we are going to do the 2 to 4 trick here, I think. Although we have the mana to just cast Master of Waves, so it's probably better just to keep this on 2. So, I don't know. I don't know because if I violin Trickster, pay 1, tick it up, I can just get in for 4 damage pretty cleanly. I think I kind of like that. But we could also leave up Trickster to hedge against Lightning Skelemental because they didn't have mana for Skelemental since it's like red black. So I think I am just going to leave up Vial on 2. I'll just play Master of Waves for 3 tokens. It seems fine. Actually, if I play Master of Waves, then I can't target anything. So Mariner is going to tax me. So maybe I just play out as many of my cards as I can. It's pretty complicated. You know what? I think I can take a clean attack. They're not going to block with Mariner, particularly with Ether Vial on 2. So I can get in with these 2, sort of bluff a Lord, right? Get in for 4. And then I'm still holding up mana to Violin and tap down a Skelemental, which is a pretty big blowout. So I think that's the play. Hey, Contra. How's it going, man? So we'll leave it on 2. I've already got my line already sorted. We're going to play Naming Merfolk, and then we're going to activate Mutavault, and we're going to attack, and the opponent is, if they block, like, what a block. Good job, opponent, but you can't block here against Merfolk with a Lord represented, right? Just take your 4. Easy call. No blocks. I mean, if they take it and they predict the Lord, they're taking 6, but not a big... Oh, they're blocking. Good for you. That's fine. But yeah, we're just vialing in. We're not going to give them any tokens with... This is a little bit rough since we're getting fewer tokens with Master of Waves, but Unsettled Mariner is kind of obnoxious. And now I can actually... I don't have to pay for him, so I've got like double Tempo Bears on their turn. But if I cast one, it's pretty bad. So let me go ahead and put Tideminder Mage back into the battlefield, onto the battlefield. Now remember, we don't have to pay for any Mariners right now, so we want them to tap out for a Skelemental. We tap it down. Oh, but the thing, it's a Skelemental, it's funny. You tap it down, and then it doesn't die on the end step because you took away its text, and you get scared, and you're like, oh no, they're going to keep their Skelemental, but then it just dies on your end step. So I hope we get to see that, because it's pretty fun. Come on, Skelemental time. Ugh, so stupid. So we got so many of these Mariners. All right, we do want to play Master of Waves, so I'm just going to vial something in, not pay for anything. Just extra Tidebinder on the Voice of Resurgence, I guess. But again, not paying for it, so who cares? I don't care. Maybe the opponent cares. Land is actually best here, so I can tap out for Master of Waves and hold up the tax for Mariner. Yeah, deck. I love it. So we would get 2 more tokens if I play this Trickster right now. Actually, hang on. That was stupid. I just started tapping. I need to... This is a league. I got crushed by an Uro deck. This build, if you check out the Cardboard Live thing over on the side, this build is absolutely not designed to beat Uro decks. All right, so this one is... I'll just attack with the Tidebinder who's doing nothing. And hopefully we win this one. I should find it... I don't know. If the opponent has like literally a path to exile with their only white mana in the deck, we could lose. I didn't have the Lord last turn, opponent, so if you want to trade with a do-nothing Tidebinder Mage, by all means. So this is round 2 of this league. Currently 0-1, currently a game in the hole against Elementals. This opening hand, opening 7, was like Mutavault, Cavern, Ether Vial, which a little bit awkward with all the tempo bears that I need to cast, but I drew my lands, so can't activate Vantress right now. Opponent conceded, that's awesome. All right, let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. You know what? I'm going to let you guys see the sideboarding, and if you have any brilliant ideas, let me know. I'm back. So Pithing Needle is always a way to like cheese wins against Vial decks, but we're a Vial deck. So I don't think Pithing Needle is the best here. I do play Pithing Needle in Soul Herder. I bring it in against Vial decks. I think that setup was just fine. The problem is against elementals, like they play Risen Reef, and if that card gets online and gets going, like you're not winning. It's just it's not happening. It's such a stupid busted card. Like if that card was a Merfolk, like Merfolk would be tier 1 without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like it's really obnoxious that that Wizards never push stuff for Merfolk. I mean, without a doubt, whatever. It would be a very, very competitive deck. I don't know if it'd be a tier 1 exactly. All right, we got some interaction. We've got Crazy Master of Waves. He took us to the Promised Land in the last game. We got 3 lands in Ether Vial. This is impossible to ship. Literally impossible. The mulligan button does not work when you have a hand like this. Opponent starting with 7. All right, sweet. We'll keep as well. I have a bad feeling about this. I hate being on the draw against aggressive decks. I don't know. I've got the Harbinger in hand, but they've got these stupid Mariners that are taxing everything. Ether Vial. Why not? Oh, they've got these painful lands. That might help us a little. Ah, the Lord. That's awesome. Oh, but it gives Mariner Island Walk, so we do have to be careful about that. Definitely played a small role in losing game 1, although we were getting wrecked anyway there. Oh, man, that's so awkward. So hopefully no shapeshifters this game. Actually, I kind of want them to have the shapeshifter because it's like probably the worst card in their deck against us. Like we don't really care. We're not trying to target their stuff all day. I'd be surprised if the opponent just keeps all 4 of those in against us, because like, I mean, how bad really is us like harbingering one of your dudes, you know? It's not the end of the world. Opponent, maybe they're going to time out and just like make it easy for us. Once again, I'm ahead on time against our opponent, which is kind of embarrassing because I'm doing like pretty in-depth commentary as I'm playing. And the opponent's deck is not nearly as complicated as my deck. Like, they don't have tempo decisions to make. They're like, it's kind of like Primeval Titan. There's like 2 steps. It's like, can I cast Primeval Titan? If yes, go to step 2. Cast Primeval Titan. If no, go to step 3. Step 3. Play lands and or draw Primeval Titan. Go back to step 1, right? This deck is like, can you cast a Lightning Skelemental? If yes, go to step 2. Cast Lightning Skelemental. Or Risen Reef. which is just to say that the opponent should not have less time than I do. Unsettled Mariner for the win. Oh, Voice of Resurgence. That thing's going to get bounced at some point. I am going to play my Lord here, unless I draw something better. This thing won't have Island Walk. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's not time for that yet. Huh. All right. So there can be no Skelementals next turn because they need all red and black mana, and this is like obviously not red or black. Opponents are reading the fine text. Can't be countered. Other Merfolk get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. Okay. Opponent finished. Well done. Vial in the 1-drop. Put Lightning Skelemental on top of the deck. Like, why doesn't Merfolk have a 1-drop that tutors up our best cards? Why do other tribes get this stuff? We've been sitting with the same cards for like 20 years. All right, so next turn, Harbinger gets online, Echoing Truth gets online, slows them down a little bit. As I said, they literally can't get a Skelemental onto the battlefield next turn. So unless they have like some cute way to pitch it into the graveyard and then play Thunderkin Awakener to get it back from the graveyard, if they do that, then game's probably over. It's a pretty sweet deck. I should say that. I don't want to. It's sad is not the right word. Pathetic is a better word. Sad is certainly accurate, but it's not. It's not enough. It's not powerful. Opponent. It's like they don't know what cards are in their deck. What are you thinking about? Okay, so they found a Lord that lets them put another elemental creature onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and you sacrifice it. So basically, right, fair enough. That thing will have Summoning Sickness, though. Then maybe they could play an elemental that gives everything haste, which would be obviously a blowout. But they don't have so many resources here. Flicker Wisp bouncing my they're cast. All right, cast that guy. Elementals get swole. This is all understandable, predictable. They must have something that they want to put onto the battlefield. So it seems like a weird choice, right? Because you already have Ether Vial. Definitely not blocking here. If it looked like I was thinking, that's not what was happening. The opponent is 2.5 minutes behind me. Oh, another Lord? Gonna do me like that? All right. All right. Well, I can bounce both of those things. That's kind of cool. I could also just kill this one. Depends on how I feel. Actually, let's go ahead and say yes. Land is okay because we do want to play these Masters of Waves. I was gonna say this could be pretty interesting. If I bounce both of these and these guys attack, I could just ambush and eat both. Yeah. Well, it depends on if they tick. It depends on what they play. They almost certainly like this last card. I'm betting is a Lightning Skelemental, but they could just go beat down with Lords. So maybe it's just like a land in their hand or something. Echoing Truth, these things, which is it's unfortunate. They have this guy. They won't. If they're almost certainly going to tick Ether Vial up to 3, right? So if I bounce this, well, anyhow, I'm almost certainly going to bounce something, bring in Harbinger, and try to like sabotage them in some way. But the exact manner of sabotage is yet to be seen, I think. They have to go to 3 because Risen Reef is a 3. And now, well, bouncing their 2-drop becomes a little bit better because they can't just vial it in. So crack this, opponent. That's a good start. Crack your canopy land. Oh no. Oh no. Let it be a 3rd. Oh no. Yuck. All right, they're going all out here. What do you? Oh my goodness. So that's a good elemental hand right there. And actually, they're gonna get a token when I cast Echoing Truth, which is dirty. But we should hopefully have a bunch of tokens next turn. If we draw another a 2-drop off the top would be the best because then we get 7 tokens. So both of these are bounce spells. So I'm not. We're definitely going to bounce the Lightning Skelemental, which isn't amazing. And then I guess I have to bounce these 2 things. But then they get to, what? Vial this thing in and copy it next turn? I could potentially... Well, whatever. I'm going to let them go to attacks here. That is a hand right there, ladies and gentlemen. 3 lands, Ether Vial, and Bonkers Gas. They had a 1-drop with Vial, a 2-drop with Vial, a 3-drop with Vial, and it's turn 4. That is a hand. Let's see. I could Vial in Harbinger, bounce this thing, activate Mutavault, and just what? Trade with one of these. I'm taking a lot of damage though. I need to Echoing Truth these guys right now. I think. We're probably just dead. Probably just dead. So this has to go. Absolutely has to. I guess another like Harbinger would be great off the top. And then yeah, we have to bounce this garbage. They're going to make a voice token. I'm not being caught unawares here. There's just only so much we can do. Opponent is hardcore F6'd. Oh, I do get to eat something. Oh, I get to eat both of them. Unforeseen benefits of bouncing the Lords. They get another token, but I don't even care about that. That was a turn by us too. Love it. Now let us draw a 2-drop and sort of be right back in it, I guess. Opponent's like, how did I not just win? Okay, we are not going to use this. Oh, damn it. I really wanted a 2-drop there. I don't know that we survive here, guys, but we're gonna see. They have a Phantasmal Image in hand. That was one of the things that we bounced. All right. I should probably be dead already, but I'm not. I'm sure the opponent is going to draw something bonkers, maybe like a Dismember from Master of Waves. Gotta think carefully now, opponent. I am F6'd. You don't want to run into a trap like that again. So take it easy. This gets what? An elemental out of the graveyard? No. So, oh man, voice is a combo. That gives them more elemental tokens. Okay. The Lord. This has pro red, which is a nice block against the stupid big thing that they're playing here. All right. All right. Let's see if we can not die. So we know that, well, they could bring Flamekin back if they want to get something specific off the top. Oh, don't attack with this. That would be great. Just don't do it. Attack like this. This is awesome. Ah. Well, I do get to kill this thing at least. Now opponent's going to spend 2 minutes figuring out which of these two creatures to bring back. Okay, they like the Harbinger. Fair enough. So it is attacking. It's a lot of damage. I have to somehow prevent all 7 of this, which is unfortunate. And I have to not lose all of my devotion. So they got Omnath. All right, let's start like this. We're going to go... hang on a second. We're going to go Elemental against Elemental Crime over here. We're going to put Master of Waves over here. We need 5 more toughness over here. I would absolutely love to eat this idiot over here. But I don't know that we can afford to do that. We need, as I said, 5 more toughness over here. Yeah, no, for sure it does. But we need to absorb all of that 7. And yeah, all of that 7. We do need to kill this thing. It needs to get off the table because it's going to keep bringing this thing back, which is unacceptable. So, and I can't lose the Lord and block because then I lose all my devotion. So let's just figure out blocks. I do need to kill that thing. This is so rough. All right, what if I put Harbinger over here? That's absorbing 5 now. I go 6, 7. I want to put 2 on this guy. Maybe I can afford to take 7 damage. 7, 8, 9. We're going to kill this thing and not... We're going to lose 2 of our devotion, but we can still top deck 2 drops. Opponent's catching up to time here. So it's 5, 6, 7. Taking 9. I'm going to lose 2 of these. I'm going to lose all my elementals. Take 9. This is fine. All right, opponent, I'm still not dead. We need a hibernation right now. You guys know that card, hibernation? What did they put on top? They put that Omnath card on top, which I sort of forget what it does, but I'm pretty sure it does like direct damage, like it counts elementals and then just hits me for 5 or something stupid like that. All right, so Tidebinder off the top, sort of okay. Lord? Oh my god, thank you, deck. And now we can leave Mutavault up. Okay, we are officially getting somewhere. Oh, we can't leave Mutavault up. Ah, well. All right, opponent. Can you beat this? Oh, you know what? I think Omnath is gonna just deal 4 damage to my face. If that's what I'm... And... it's so rough. Yeah, I think I forget what Omnath does, but I'm pretty sure we're just toast. There's no reason to attack. Because we just win next turn if they don't beat us. Yeah, so I mean, if Omnath is the solution here, then it's just another example of like a busted elemental card that, like, why can't Merfolk get a busted card? All right, opponent. He knows what Omnath does. He's going to start playing a little faster. So dirty. I had to work so hard for that. Opponent just was like skipping through a meadow or something. Okay, so down 0-2. I think I'll probably just play one more round here. I started really early this evening. With my new schedule, I think I might be able to start earlier in general. Yeah, I mean, imagine if Merfolk just had like Curse Catcher, but instead of being Curse Catcher, it was Flamekin Harbinger. And it's kind of embarrassing because I think we're winning the die rolls and just getting wrecked. This is an example of a hand where having Mutavaults in the deck is actually pretty good. So we're going to keep this. And I am going to open with Mutavault here. I was just saying that in the Discord the other day that it's extremely rare that I open with Mutavault, but since I'm on the play, I get basically a free attack, unless it's Death Shadow, it's a free attack. And Ether Vial is going to be able to get the Trickster onto the battlefield. Oh man, I would love to have tapped that down with Trickster. Getting wrecked. Oh, but that was its sick top deck. Don't need to attack here. MTGO is apparently not having a very good time. Okay, there we go. Love it. Okay, well, Island Walk established, Devotion established. If this looks like Ponza, some kind of Ponza, we've got our basics. We've got our Devotion. Master of Waves does really well in the matchup. Let's see if we can get there. Opponent without a second land. Let's see. Come on. Come on, opponent. No second land. Maybe they kept like Utopia Sprawl and they were going to play like 2 mana and then untap it and make 4 mana and just, I don't know, like, well, I guess they could only make 2 mana. If they have 1 land plus Utopia Sprawl, they would play the Utopia Sprawl, untap it, pay 2 mana and whatever. But man, opponent's in the tank. You have to have a second land, right? Don't tell me he kept 1 land, opponent. That would be a little embarrassing. I don't know. At this point, they're thinking about it so much that they must have another land, and they're thinking like, is Blood Moon better? What should I do? And they're probably just like upset that they can't cast Bloodbraid Elf on turn 2. Now, that is something that that Spreading Seas does prevent. If they have a second land drop, which of course they do, they could play the Utopia Sprawl, tap, untap, 4 mana on turn 2. Pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. Are you going to play... Oh, man. I thought they were going to play another, like a Utopia Sprawl on this. What's going on? Is this Clothis? Okay, you got it, opponent. Blood Moon against the mono blue deck. Plays for days. Skills to pay the bills. So now, we're going to upkeep, tap this thing down. I mean, I'm drawing entirely too many lands. But I think we should still be okay. Ether Vial, doesn't matter. Maybe they just use their mana right now to play Bolt or something, which would be good for them because I would get fewer elemental tokens. But yeah, you got it. Stomp, maybe? Nah, they got better things to do. Trickster's not hurting anybody, opponent. Just let it go. There we go. It's just a 2/2, right? Play another Blood Moon. Or, alternatively, play a Utopia Sprawl. Got him. Man, if I hit that, they get no green mana. Oh, that's so awesome. Spreading Seas, come to me. Actually, right now, like a Tidebinder would be the best top deck, I think. I'll take a Lord. I'll take a Lord all day. I'm gonna play a Cavern, just cause, well, they're gonna blow up the islands anyway. So if they can, just gonna play islands. I'm gonna play a Lord. Actually, this was potentially poorly done. It probably shouldn't matter too much. They clearly have, yeah, okay, some kind of stomp or removal. So the Lord can come in now, and they were going to respond no matter what with Master of Waves. So actually, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad on my part. I should have cast Master of Waves. They would have stomped the Trickster. Oh my god! And then I could have saved the Trickster with the Lord. I mean, we still have to be way ahead here. But that was a huge misplay by me. Massive misplay. Totally unnecessary. And now the opponent has basically as much mana as they need. Six as things stand. Hey Odysseus, welcome to the stream. Well, if I lose this game, it's because of that moment. I could have blown the opponent out, but as it went, I played it pretty badly. We don't have quite lethal on board. We've got 13. So opponent thinking carefully about how to use this mana. So, okay, well, pillaging the Ether Vial. Not the end of the world. And they have no more... I guess they can untap this for red mana. Oh my god. Deck. So we have to assume they have like a bolt here and not attack with the Master of Waves. Because they would have just cast this guy if they didn't have removal here. So I've drawn 7 lands and Ether Vial. I wonder if the Ponza players know like how telegraphed their plays are. Though honestly, to cast anything, that was another mistake. I need to think a little more deeply, but hopefully we're all learning something. In order to cast any red spells, they had to untap this, I think. Or did they have this up? I'm not sure, but I should have probably attacked with Master of Waves because I think they had to tap the Arbor Elf there. It's possible. I can't remember if they had this untapped. Anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself. It looks like they're casting something gigantic here. A Glorybringer is not going to do it, though, unfortunately, opponent. Not at all. Maybe Glorybringer kill an elemental, Lightning Bolt kill another elemental. I mean, they've got pro red, man. Yeah, all right. That's what this deck can do. This silly mono blue, this silly mono blue deck. Again, if you guys don't know the exact list, it's over here with Cardboard Live. This is one of the decks that we should be able to sort of eat alive with this particular build. Oh my god, this is so annoying sometimes. Like, I can't drag things from the sideboard. Oh, stop it. Okay. Now, I have to start thinking about... I do kind of like Deprive in the matchup, but they are land destruction. I like all of the Temple Bears. All the Temple Bears are awesome. Ether Vial's good even against Pillage, just because if they play Blood Moon, it helps us play our creatures. Master of Waves is awesome. Can probably trim like 2 forces. Klothys is obnoxious. I'm not sure if we want to play Echoing Truth. They've got a lot of like... Oh, you know what? Pithing Needle is nutty in the matchup, actually. It can name Arbor Elf, which is really good. It can also name like Wooded Foothills. I don't know if I want all 4 necessarily. It also can name Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, let me bring in 2 of these guys. Oh, there's one. I took out one of my Ether Vials by mistake. Maybe I just get rid of all the forces. Like, just not care about their non-creature spells. Like, you can have your bolts, you can have your stomps, you can have your blood moons. But Pithing Needling, a turn 1 Arbor Elf, can be just game-winning. So I'm going to submit this like this. And we'll try to keep our eyes open as to whether Echoing Truth or Deprive would be good. Contra, I'm glad to hear that I've inspired you. It's the traditional way of playing Merfolk. People have strayed pretty far afield playing blue-white and blue... this is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Blue-white, blue-green, even Bant. Sometimes blue-black, blue-red. Go Pithing Needle off the top. This looks like an Arbor Elf. Maybe Utopia Sprawl. Oh, well, all right. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. So, I mean, look, if the opponent pillages my Ether Vial on their second turn, we're gonna have a rough time here, guys. But if they play like, they probably took their Blood Moons out, honestly. But Ponza on the play is a pretty scary deck. Pretty scary deck. We're getting pillaged. All right, give me that island. Play. Ugh. Okay, that was nasty. But as soon as we draw an island, we can just tap this thing down. So I'm just ether gusting whatever happens here. Unless the opponent attacks with Arbor Elf, I wouldn't even activate Mutavault here. It's like a Chandra maybe. Definitely getting ether gusted. And then we would just Tidebinder the Arbor Elf. Oh, they put it on top. Fair enough. So, blue land. Ether Vial is slowly going to get us there, but we're going to take our beats from questing beats. Questing beast. Questing beast. Again, Ponza on the play. Pretty dirty. At any point, we could just start, drawing some lands. Would be pretty good. This is a 5-turn clock. Not the scariest yet. Okay. Gotta love it. So, now the thing is here. Like, Tidebinder Mage is a little sketchy because they have lightning bolts, right? If we play Tidebinder Mage and it gets bolted right now, it's pretty nasty. If just pass the turn, wait and see what they do, and play Trickster, that sort of seems fine. Then next turn we can like double Tidebinder Mage. Oh my god, if they play another Pillage on this Ether Vial, I'm gonna throw my laptop across the room. Alright, opponent. Your bolt has no power here. And, I think it's worth tapping down the Questing Beast. They're thinking a lot. Man, 3 minutes ahead of this guy. No Blood Moons yet. I'm telling you, if they pillage the Ether Vial, going to see an upset Merfolk Joe. They were doing some Ponza math to see if they should bolt my face. They decided against it. Oh my god. All right, so 6 mana, maybe 7 if they have a land. So I just don't like no haymakers, opponent. All right, good. Good. I could We are going to have Ether Vial. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Trickster stomped. I don't know. Weird plays. Attack. Fear the 1-drop. Okay, they're empty-handed. That is sick. All right, so now we fear nothing. Opponent gonna regret not bringing back Blood Boon. So what I'm going to do here actually is cast Harbinger, bounce Questing Beast, make them take their turn off to cast it again, and then Tidebind during the beginning of combat. Let's get some. Actually, you know what? They'll cast it. It has haste. I'll just bounce it again, right? Harbinger is the less important between the Temple Bears. All right. Somehow things have swung in our direction after getting pillaged. Opponent maybe flooding a little bit. That guy's familiar. I've seen him before. Oh, he doesn't get... Oh my god. I forgot he's got Vigilance. Oh my god. So I'm taking beats for no reason here. I should have just tapped it down. Forgot about my magic cards, guys. This card has too much text on it. I could potentially just... Oh, it can't be blocked also, right? So I can't block. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to take my shame beats. So in case that was unclear, the plan was to bounce Harbinger. Bounce it with Harbinger. Okay, you got it. Okay. Here comes my shame. Well, no, I'm gonna put the Lord out now, I guess. We still have all those Master of Waves in the deck. Whoa. Opponent with the hot top decks. Nice. All right, well, Master of Waves online. So now, bouncing this seems bad. So I think I'm just going to play Tidebinder on the Beast. You know, I'm going to play Tidebinders on both of these guys, and I'm going to get my beats in. Make the opponent top deck again. The power of the Tempo Bears for all to see. So now opponent rips a land, and things are looking good. Play your land. Well, that's close enough. Close enough, opponent. I'll take it. Lord here would be sick because they're gonna try to double block Tidebinder, and I'm just gonna blow them out of the sky. So, oh my god, deck. Why are you so good to me? Yeah, so it's lethal if they don't block. It's really nasty if they do block. Take that, opponent. Double block. You gotta do it. You gotta double block. Oh, it's so dirty. Opponent, I hate to see it. I feel like this is like I'm the Elementals player right now. They're gonna like somehow blow me out. They're gonna like top deck Anger of the Gods or something. All right, they just conceded. So we managed to win a round against Ponza with 4 main deck Tidebinder mages. Yes. Let's draw some cards. Oh wait, I like to play a little game called Is There a Lord on the Top of the Deck? So place your bets. I have to start drawing cards really soon because they're going to place. All right, so Lord or no Lord? I feel like there's another Lord under this Lord, so I'm gonna call Lord. Oh wait, MTGO is like freezing now. Come on, draw a card. Magic, why are you so bad? This program is so bad. It's like freezes all the time. Not letting me have any fun. All right, guys, didn't work. Didn't work. We'll never know. 75%. So there's one in the graveyard. Actually, it was pretty bold of me to predict Lord, but I just felt like the deck was with me in every way. So, man, that's frustrating. All right, whatever. So we're 1 and 2. Nothing to be proud of. At the same time, Elementals was on the play. They had Vial, exactly 3 lands, and Mega Gas, and we actually almost won. The only way that they won was by tutoring Omnath to throw like a Boros Charm at our face. Nah, I don't. I wasn't gonna play you like that. Like Master of Waves. I was right. No, Master of Waves is not a Lord. So, anyhow, it's a fun build, guys. I'm not gonna tell anybody that like this is like what you have to play or something. But there's obviously a lot of Soulscar mages in the format, and other red creatures and green creatures. So Tidebinder Mage is a lot of fun. Master of Waves, when it doesn't die, wins games. We saw that in Game 2 against Elementals. So, I think I'm gonna call it there. I'm pretty hungry, want to have some dinner. But before I go, I'd like to send you guys over to another streamer who's live right now. If you guys didn't see, I'm on the Card Hoarder Network right now. Pretty proud of that. It's not like exclusive or anything. Pretty much anybody who's got 200 followers and is pretty active as a streamer can get on the Card Hoarder Network. But still, I had to work hard to find all of you guys to follow me. So let me find who's online right now, and I'll send you guys over there. You can say hello. I'm gonna send you to Ivaros because that guy is super cool, and you can say hello. Tell all of his. Make sure you just spam like my channel. Send links to my channel. Like just annoy the crap out of them. Actually, you know, don't do exactly that, but you can say like Merfolk Joe says hello. Yeah, man, it's my pleasure, Contra. I'm supposed to do it every Wednesday, but I missed last Wednesday. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. It's just like sometimes you don't really feel up to it. I was just like busy last week and was just like, I need a break. So I did. I took a breather last week. But back this week for Merfolk. What is it? Wednesday night Merfolk. And you know, I've got more time lately, so maybe I'll be able to slip in another stream before I'm back on Monday with Soul Herder. So please say hello to Ivaros for me, and have a great evening, guys, and thanks for joining me. I'll see